Hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Tonight, I would like to gather everyone to raise the vibration for our nation. Tomorrow is such an important day. Tomorrow is Inauguration Day. And we are three sisters that believe that good things are coming. And it's not like we don't know pain and suffering. We all have our own personal tragedies, but it's our resilience that we grow from. And it's our resilience that allows us to recognize ourselves and recognize our strength. And this is where we speak from, us three sisters. And this is our glue. This is Jennie Estrada, also known as Sister Weeping Willow. And she comes from generations of medicine women. And Cynthia Ruiz, also known as Lion Mother. And she teaches leadership with the spine of integrity. And how much and how important that is to passing the baton to generations before us. So together, we have been speaking every Tuesday around 6 o'clock or the 6 o'clock hour. We work to raise the vibration for Georgia before Georgia's election. And of course, we felt like we had participated in a miracle because Georgia won. And so we want to continue doing this. And because we have developed a compassionate Chicana presence. And with that, I'd like to congratulate Joseph Biden as our next president, who will be inaugurated in a few hours. And I'd also like to congratulate Kamala Harris as our vice president. And I have a picture of our Cali girl. She's our very own Cali girl, born and raised in California from the West Coast, represented in the House.
West Coast.
So, yes.
In our house.
Yes. And so this is our Cali girl. And I believe too that she does have a compassionate Chingona presence.
Absolutely.
And she's going to carry us forward in history. And it feels so good. And at this point, we can look at everything as water under the bridge. I mean, we know all the stuff that happened. And this is what, I guess what I want to bring today is, what does inauguration mean? How do we define that? And we know that inauguration means to begin anew. In the dictionary, it means that we start a new policy, or we start a new chapter in our history. But we have, as a country, we have been doing this since 1789. It's a ceremony that is more than just starting new. This is a ceremony that transfers power to your opponent. So when we think about adversaries or opposites, and how powerful that is when we are secure as a society to be able to, every inauguration ceremony, to meet at that point of handing power over to your adversary or to your opposite or to the people that don't think like you. And at first I thought, oh, this is a little bit, this is what our inauguration. And I thought that this is the genius of our democracy, because our democracy has a built-in system that is sustainable. It's a system of regenerating every inaugural ceremony. It's when you think about it, it's genius, because the pendulum in our democracy is always going to swing back and forth, but that inaugural is that sacred hoop of life. And we know that in that sacred hoop of life, the east is spring, the south is summer, the west is autumn, and the north is winter. And then Mother Earth starts to regenerate all over again in spring. And that's what's built into our system. And I think it's genius. And I think that it's sustainable. And then I feel that this is so powerful that we go back and forth with our adversaries. It's almost like a tennis game, making the ball go back and forth. But it's for the sustainability of our children's children. So let's celebrate our inauguration. Let's raise the vibration of our nation. And how genius are we? And with that, I'm going to pass the baton over to my sister Jennie. And Jennie is also known as Sister Weeping Willow. She is a powerful, genuine medicine woman.
Thank you, Lorraine. I'd like to say that Lorraine is my teacher and teacher to many. And she is also a very powerful medicine woman. She's an author. She is, I just had it right on the tip of my tongue. Author. She's a medicine woman. She is an artist. That's what I was thinking. Oh. You're an artist. And thank you, Lorraine. Thank you so much for starting this off. Today we said, well, what are we going to talk about? I need to say the inauguration. And I just want you to know that we have been under a spell for 35,000, almost 40 hours of something is passing, which is wonderful. And I agree that this is genius, because this was a major bitch slap to all of us, because we were not, I think this whole time that we passed for 45 was, we weren't expecting this. And yet we were expecting it, but not so bad. It just like blew up like caca. I can't even believe it. Honest to God. I mean, it just went from, oh, it's not so bad, to, oh shit, it's really bad. But there's the grace in that, is that we see what we don't want to happen to us again. So we all need to take responsibility, and say, I'm part of this. My vote counts. That's the perfect storm was Georgia. And we did start there. We said, please, we have to say something. We have to do something. And we did. And you know what? I think we're the ones that tipped it over. That's just me, because that's ego. But no, but I'm so happy that happened that way. And now this, we're starting fresh. We're starting new. And I hope that we can all at least respect each other's feelings. This is going to be hard, because half of the country was bamboozled, I think. And I think when they think about it, and the things that happened on January the 6th, I think they can see that was evil. That was not Republican. That was not Democrat. That was pure evil that came out. And I think we needed to have that. I don't want to say bloodshed, because nobody should have died over that. But I think we needed that major bitch slap, so that we could say, hey, look at what is out there. Look at what we need to take care of us for our children, for the children's children. This is so important that we all participate, however small or however big. Just participate in what's happening around you. If you see something, say something. Don't sit back, because when you sit back, somebody else takes a driver's seat and they take you to the opposite way. Like, what am I thinking? That one over there, Lake Elsinore. I really wanted to go to the Pacific Ocean. They took me to Lake Elsinore. I'm not happy with that. So we need to stand up, participate, put our hand across the aisle, and work for this world to be a better world. To not leave such an ugly, damn footstep that it's so dirty that you can't clean it up. It's up to us. However little you do, it's still up to you. Whether you sit at home and sit down and just sit on your couch, but have at least a good thought. You know, we don't need any more crap. We don't need any more pollution. Let's clean this up for what comes after us. On that note, I'm going to transfer it over to Cynthia. Cynthia, it's all yours.
Thank you, Sister Weeping Willow. And for me, it's just an honor to be a part of this amazing triangle, here with energy women and energy healers and medicine women and shamans. And, today I am just like kind of like on a natural high. I'm so overwhelmed with emotions, but good emotions. I feel hopeful. I feel peaceful. I feel that what we're about to embark on over this next few years is something really positive and really good. And so I really don't want to talk about number 45 in the past, because he was a necessary evil in the sense that we had to see that and experience that to go through this transition. Well, the transition has begun, and it's up to each and every one of us to make sure that we're contributing in a positive way to this great nation. I mean, when you really think about it, the United States is one of the greatest nations in this world. We have so many luxuries that many people don't. And I'm grateful every day to have been born and to live in the United States. But I also feel a sense of responsibility. We're all responsible to make sure that we're holding our leaders accountable. Lying is not okay. Making stuff up is not okay. Being selfish and, only looking at your best interest and what's going to fill your pocketbooks is not okay. We elect our representatives to serve the people, all the people of the United States. And we make no mistake about it, there's a lot of healing that needs to happen. And as our new president comes in, he has the most difficult job than any other president. He's going to have to deal with the pandemic, the economy, the racial injustice, all this hatred and division. This is a heavy lift that he has to overcome, but it's up to all of us to come together and contribute in a positive way. And not even only for us, but for the future generations. And the young people, the Gen Z, they're excited. They want to make sure that, environmentalism is at the front of our agenda, that truth is at the front of our agenda. So I just am very hopeful, and I'm so grateful. I stand in gratitude today, not only for my two sisters here, but for all of you and everybody out there. So with that, I'm going to end on gratitude and pass it back to Lorraine, which, in addition to everything we've talked about, she's a sacred storyteller. So Lorraine.
Thank you. We will close up our circle. Before we close up, I'd like to read a story from Black elk.
Okay.
Have you noticed that everything an Indian does is in a circle? And that is because the power of the world always works in circles, and everything tries to be round. In the old days, when we were a strong and happy people, all our power came to us from the sacred hoop of the nation. And so long as the hoop was unbroken, the people flourished. The flowering tree was the living center of the hoop, and the circle of the four quarters nourished it. The east gave peace and light, the south gave warmth, the west gave rain, and the north, with its cold and mighty wind, gave strength and endurance. This knowledge came to us from the outer world with our religion. Everything the power of the world does is done in a circle. The sky is round, and I have heard that the earth is round like a ball, and so are the stars. The wind, in its greatest power, whirls. Birds make their nest in circles, for theirs is the same religion as ours. The sun comes forth and goes down again in a circle. The moon the same. Both are round. Even the seasons form a great circle in their changing and always come back again to where they were. The life of a man is a circle from childhood to childhood. And so it is in everything where power moves. Our teepees were round like the nest of birds, and these were always set in a circle. The nation's hoop, a nest of many nests, where the Great Spirit meant for us to hatch our children. And I'd like to close with that. I'd like to thank everybody who has come, and we are honored by your presence, and we move forward in a circle. Thank you for joining us. Good night, and we lift the vibration of our nation.
Absolutely. Aho and amen.
Aho.